जो भी आया उसको दबा के चला गया।
नमस्कार, समाचार 29 में आपका स्वागत है। मैं हूं कविता, स्टूडियो में मैं हूं दिनेश,
मैं हूं रविंद्र चौहान,
मैं रश्मि प्रिया शेर, मैं नश्विता महन।
समाचार नॉर्थ ईस्ट हर शाम 6 बजे।
News to keep you ahead. Evening Prime every day at 7 p.m. Northeast Live, most watched English news channel in Northeast. Number 1 English channel in region. Highest urban and rural viewers in Northeast. Most viewed news channel of Northeast on YouTube.
जाएंगे हम वहां जहां की हर खबर छुप जाती है और दिखाएंगे वो जो रहता है आपकी नजरों से उझल। पहुंचेंगे हम पूर्वोत्तर के हर कोने में।
Political issues.
नॉर्थ ईस्ट की हर खबर से आपको कराएंगे रूबरू।
एक पूरा पहाड़ नीचे आके रास्ते में जो भी आया उसको दबा के चला गया।
नमस्कार, समाचार 29 में आपका स्वागत है। मैं हूं कविता, स्टूडियो में मैं हूं दिनेश,
मैं हूं रविंद्र चौहान,
मैं रश्मि प्रिया शेर, मैं नश्विता महन।
समाचार नॉर्थ ईस्ट हर शाम 6 बजे।
News to keep you ahead.
Good afternoon. You're watching Northeast Live. I'm Priyadarshini Medhi, and we start the bulletin with updates from the Manipur landslide tragedy. 2 more bodies have been recovered from the Tupul landslide spot today, which now takes the death toll to 44. Commandant of 12th NDRF Battalion, Pankaj Kavidayal, informed Northeast Live that bodies of a territorial army jawan and a civilian have been recovered from the Ijai River today. Search and rescue operations, meanwhile, are underway on a war footing to locate the remaining 18 who are feared buried under the debris. So, viewers, 2 more bodies have been recovered from the Tupul landslide spot today, which now takes the death toll to 44. Well, Commandant of 12th NDRF Battalion, Pankaj Kavidayal, informed Northeast Live that bodies of a territorial army jawan and a civilian have been recovered from the Ijai River today. Search and rescue operations, meanwhile, are underway on a war footing to locate the remaining 18 who are feared buried under the debris. And earlier this morning, the mortal remains of 5 territorial army men were flown to their respective homes from the Imphal airport. These include Lieutenant Colonel Kapil Dev Pandey, Naik Chedup Lama, Rifleman Pritam Kumar Datta, Havildar Umesh Limbu, and Havildar Deepkar Pradhan. The brave hearts were paid full military honors and wreaths were laid on the mortal remains. And worth mentioning here, even as inclement weather has been a major hindrance for the rescue workers in the search operations, authorities have reassured time and again that the operations will continue till the last person is traced. Notably, the army is using high-tech equipment such as the True Wall Imaging Radar, which can detect bodies buried up to 20 meters below in the search operations. All right, to know more, we are being joined live with our correspondent from Imphal, Sharat Chandra. So, Sharat, two more bodies have been recovered. Tell us more about the rescue and search operations. Is the search and rescue operations underway at this point in time, Sharat, as we speak?
Yes, still this search operation is relentlessly on in the Tupul site. Yes, you have also rightly mentioned that due to the this rain, yesterday also the search operation was stopped briefly for around about 2 hours, but later resumed. But today again, you see the weather condition at the Tupul area is very unpredictable, and as this area comes under the southwest monsoon, where the this heavy rainfall receive to pull this near Tupul and in and around Tupul area, weather is very unpredictable. That is the reason the rescue operation, this rescue operation of this whoever engaged in the rescue operation having a very big hamper. So as of now, you see NDRF, Territorial Army personnel, SDRF, Assam Rifles, and the this local police are involving in the search operation. And yes, though this unpredictable weather condition always give hamper to the search operation, but despite all these things, search operation is on, and altogether as of now, altogether you see, according to last evening update so far, this 42 bodies have been recovered from the site, which include the 26 territorial army, including the this one, including the Lieutenant Colonel K.D. Pandey, who were the company commander at the 107 Battalion Territorial Army posted at the Tupul Railway Construction Site, Priya.
Right, Sharad, as you've already mentioned, that inclement weather has been a major hindrance. So, any reaction coming in from the Department? Did they, predict any rainfall in the coming days? And also, the DC None, while speaking to Northeast Live, he very clearly mentioned that search and rescue operations will continue until they trace the last missing person. Sharad.
You see, that is the commitment from all the side at this, including the district administration. Yesterday at the airport, we have interacted with the Major General Nabin Sachdeva, who is the GOC 57 Mountain Division. Speaking to Northeast Live, he just so committed that this search operation will continue till the last mortal remains retrieved. So this is the commitment, and this Major General Nabin Sachdeva also mentioned that though the weather gives a lot of hamper in the search operation, but search operation will continue. Search operation is also having a lot of technologies help, like the wall through radar. This is a technology. So in case the body is buried deep inside this, using this radar, so that can be that bodies can be identified and can be retrieved. But the thing is, dipping down the deep zones and all this thing, that takes much time, and weather plays a very very hampered situation. That is the reason. But yes, we also believe that this search operation will continue, and I think within the days to come, this search operation will be completed, Priya.
All right, Sharad Chandra, thank you so much for all those details. We'll come back to you in our later bulletins. Meanwhile, the recovered body of the civilian has been identified as Devajit Phukon, a worker hailing from Assam. It may be mentioned here that among the 18 missing, 9 are from Assam alone. So, viewers, the recovered body of the civilian has been identified as Devajit Phukon, a worker hailing from Assam. It may be mentioned here that among the 18 missing, 9 are from Assam alone. Meanwhile, the mortal remains of the two more Assam workers, namely Bogendra Phukon and Monin Deka Ranjan, arrived in Assam's Morigao. It was only on Sunday that four more deceased workers were cremated. As such, the last rites of Bogendra Phukon and Monin Deka Raja was held today in the same spot. Clearly, a pall of gloom has descended in Morigao.
দুটা মৃতদেহ আহি উপস্থিত হ'ল যোৱাকালি যিটো সমস্যা হৈছিল টাইমৰ কাৰণে আজি সেইটো হোৱা নাই দুটা ডেড বডি আহিছে বুগেন্দ্ৰ ফুকন আৰু মমিন ডেকা ৰজা এই দুজনৰ মৃতদেহ আহি উপস্থিত হৈছে আৰু আনুষ্ঠানিকভাৱে আমি আমাৰ তাতেই গাঁৱতেই শ্ৰদ্ধাঞ্জলি অনুষ্ঠান সমাপন কৰি এইমাত্ৰ আমি মৰিখালীলৈ লৈ আহিছোঁ আৰু ডেড বডি আজি নাহিব খুব কম কাইলৈ অহাৰ সম্ভাৱনা আছে
Covered body of the civilian has been identified as Devajit Phukon, a worker hailing from Assam. So a pall of gloom has descended in Morigao, and these are the visuals. So bodies of Bogendra Phukon has reached Morigao today, and these are the visuals of full military honors given to the brave hearts. And today is the fifth day, and as I've already mentioned, that relentless search and rescue operations are underway at this point in time as we speak in Tupul, in None district of Manipur, and bodies of Bagendra Phukon, Momin Deka Raja arrived this morning in Morigao, and these are the on the left side, on the right side of your screens are the visuals coming in from Morigao from this morning. Well, this morning, the mortal remains of both of them have reached the area in Morigao, and a pall of gloom. The last rituals were also being performed by their family members. Meanwhile, the mortal remains of two more Assam workers, namely Bogendra Phukon and Momin Deka Ranjan, arrived in Assam's Morigao. It was only on Sunday that four more deceased workers were cremated. As such, the last rites of Bogendra Phukon and Monin Deka Raja was held today at the same spot. All right, we have a breaking news coming in, viewers. The 5 injured Assam workers who are admitted at the RIMS hospital in Imphal have landed in Guwahati's LGBI airport. Well, these include Moniram Phukon, Roman Phukon, Maheshwar Phukon, June Basumatari, and Prahlad Basumatari. All 5 hail from Morigao. So, big breaking news. We are tracking at this point in time the 5 injured Assam workers who were admitted at the RIMS hospital in Imphal have landed in Guwahati's LGBI airport. Well, these include Moniram Phukon, Roman Phukon, Maheshwar Phukon, June Basumatari, and Prahlad Basumatari. All 5 hail from Morigao. Meanwhile, June Basumatari and Prahlad Basumatari will likely be admitted at the Guwahati Medical College and Hospital. Notably, Assam Minister Pijus Hazarika, who has been camping in Manipur for the last 2 days, overseeing the rescue operations at Tupul, visited the injured persons at the hospital to take stock of their health condition. And on to the big national story now. After 2 weeks of deep political crisis, Maharashtra's 4-day-old Eknath Shinde government, formed with the aid of the BJP, proved its majority in the state assembly today. Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde won the trust vote in the assembly by a thumping 164 to 99 margin. Meanwhile, 3 members abstained from the voting today. Moreover, 2 MLAs of the Uddhav Thackeray faction, Santosh Bangar and Shyam Sundar Shinde, joined the Eknath Shinde camp just before the trust vote. So, since yesterday, 2 Shiv Sena MLAs have switched sides. The test of strength came a day after BJP's Rahul Narvekar was elected Speaker, a significant move in view of the Shiv Sena's pending appeal to disqualify 16 rebel MLAs, including the new Chief Minister. The newly appointed Speaker of the Maharashtra Assembly on Sunday night removed Shiv Sena MLA Ajay Chaudhary as the legislative party leader. A letter issued by the Office of Speaker Rahul Narvekar reinstates Shinde as the Shiv Sena's legislative party leader and also recognizes the appointment of Bharat Gogawale from the Shinde camp as the chief whip of the Sena, removing Sunil Prabhu, who belongs to the Thackeray faction. And now on to another big national focus. Well, as many as 16 people, including several students, died after a private bus rolled off a cliff in Kullu district of Himachal Pradesh. The rolled down the hillside near Jangla Mor on Monday morning at about 8:30 a.m. According to sources, the bus with more than 30 passengers, mostly daily commuters and students, was going towards Senj. And meanwhile, the bus driver lost control of the vehicle near a hairpin bend and it rolled down the steep hillside. The passengers were crushed to death as bus rolled over multiple times before hitting the road below. As you can see on your visuals, the body of the bus has been destroyed completely. Police teams, ambulances, and officials from the local administration have rushed to the spot to carry out relief operations. Police said exact number of passengers inside the bus and number of casualties cannot be ascertained so far, as relief workers are still underway. And however, there are also reports coming in of some passengers having a miraculous escape, while some were rescued from the spot by the local residents who rushed for help. Meanwhile, President Ramnath Kovind, Vice President Venkaiah Naidu, Prime Minister Narendra Modi have expressed deep condolences and have wished speedy recovery of the injured. Prime Minister Modi has also approved an ex gratia of rupees 2 lakh each from the PMNRF for the next of kin of those who have lost their lives in the tragic bus accident. The injured would be given rupees 50,000 each. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman's scheduled visit to Nagaland today has been postponed after the Finance Minister rescheduled her visit to the state due to some unforeseen circumstances. As a result, the Nagaland government has postponed its first ever corporate social responsibility investment and banking conclave. State Minister Neba Krono informed new dates for the conclave will be announced once the Finance Minister's fresh itinerary to visit the state is finalized. With an objective to attract more CSR investments, the Nagaland government, through its Investment and Development Authority, planned to hold the event. Sitharaman, along with many top bankers and investors from across the country, were expected in the 3-day-long program. The conclave was designed to showcase the need for CSR investments in Nagaland. Notably, 50 to 60 CEOs and CXOs from various companies were supposed to take part in the conclave. Well, in a goodwill gesture and to extend help to the flood-affected people in Silchar, Tipramotha Chief Pradyut Debarman on Sunday sent flood relief items to the disaster-struck town in Assam. Pradyut sent 3 truckloads of food, drinking water, and other essential items to Silchar and its adjoining areas. In a statement, the Royal Scion said he had always believed in helping everyone in their times of need, and he is only following the footsteps of his ancestors who helped the people in the plains and the hills during their immense hardship. Debarman also thanked TMC Rajya Sabha MP Sushmita Dev, who has represented Silchar in Lok Sabha between 2014 and 2019, for facilitating the relief drive. Both Debarman and Dev were with the Congress in the past. Pradyut also added that he hopes that the rest of India takes notice of the plight of the people in the Barak Valley region. Debarman, who turned 44 yesterday, also added that this is the best way to celebrate his birthday. In a significant success for security forces in Mizoram, Assam Rifles personnel on Sunday apprehended two individuals for possessing warlike stores along the Mizoram-Myanmar border. The Searching Battalion of 23 Sector Assam Rifles recovered the warlike stores from general area Farkwan Road during an operation launch based on the specific information. The recovered items includes 47 rounds of various caliber ammunition, including 7.62 mm, 5.56 mm, and 8 mm. So, viewers, Assam Rifles personnel on Sunday apprehended two individuals for possessing war-like stores along the Mizoram-Myanmar border. The Search Battalion of 23 Sector Assam Rifles recovered the war-like stores from general area Farkwan, Tiao Road during an operation launch based on specific information. The recovered items includes 47 rounds of various caliber ammunition, including 7.62 mm, 5.56 mm, and 8 mm. In a big breakthrough, the Assam police has busted a gang of vehicle thieves in Guwahati. As per reports, while two car lifters were arrested earlier, 7 others have been detained for questioning. The special operation was launched jointly by a team of Geetanagar Police and Special Investigation Cell. Meanwhile, the arrested duo has been identified as Deep Roy and Devajit Bhattacharya. It is learned that the gang used to buy vehicles from the owners is the pretext of paying monthly installments. However, they reportedly sell the vehicles in Nagaland and Arunachal Pradesh. The matter came to station.
মোৰ গাড়ীখন ডিপজিট ভৰাবলৈ মানুহ এজনে নিছিলে তাৰ ঘৰ যোৰহাটৰ ফালে এতিয়া মোক দেখুৱালে কিন্তু মই চেয়াৰটো ধৰিব পৰা নাই মোৰ গাড়ীখন মই তাত মানে কি হেৰি কৰি দিছিলোঁ বিক্ৰী কৰা নাছিলোঁ মই এটা কণ্টেক্টত দিছিলোঁ এই 3 মাহ দিম বুলি কৈছে কোৰ্টৰ এগ্ৰিমেণ্ট কৰি গাড়ীখন দিছিলোঁ তাৰপিছত সি মোৰ 3 মাহ যেতিয়া সি ইএমআই নামাৰিলে মই যেতিয়া হাকা লাগিল তাক ফোন কৰিলোঁ ফোন কৰাৰ পিছত তাৰ মানে কোনো মোবাইল নাই কিবা নাই হেৰি চুইচ অফ হৈ আছে তাৰপিছত মই পিছত কেছটো দিলোঁ কেছটো আজি মই দিয়া 4 মাহ মানে হ'ল এনেকৈ চলি আছে মই অহা যোৱা কৰি আছোঁ আৰু পাণবজাৰ থানাতো আমাৰ লগৰবিলাকে বহুতকেইটা কেছ কৰি আছে তাতে এই ডিপজিট ভৰাই বহুত কেইখন গাড়ী নিছে উবেৰ মোৰ গাড়ীখন আজি সি প্ৰায় 9 মাহ মানে হ'ল সি সুধে আৰু হেৰি উবেৰ বেচিব লগা আছে নেকি তেতিয়া লকডাউনৰ সময়ত আমাৰো বৰ সমস্যা হৈ গৈছিলে তেতিয়া আমি কি কৰিলোঁ যে ইমান সমস্যা থকাতকৈ আমি গাড়ীখন দি দিয়াই ভাল আমি সেইকেইটা কণ্টেক্টত দিলোঁ মই কণ্টেক্ট ল'ব এনেকৈ মই চলাই থাকিম আমি ইএমআইকেইটা মাৰিম সেনেকৈ গাড়ীখন লৈ গৈছে লৈ যাই পেলাই এনেকৈ গাড়ীখন নাইকিয়া আমি আমাৰ ড্ৰাইভাৰৰ প্ৰায় মোটামুটি 25 জনমান আছে পাণবজাৰ থানাত অলৰেডি 12টামান কেছ চলি আছে খানাপাৰা হয় তাতে খাব এই মানে তাৰ নেটৱৰ্কটো তাতে আৰু এজন আছিলে এমচি না কিবা এজন মানুহৰ ল'ৰা এজন আছিলে
Moving on. National Democratic Alliance's presidential candidate and former Jharkhand governor Draupadi Murmu will visit Ranchi today. She will meet senior leaders and legislators in the state and seek support for her candidature in the presidential polls. Notably, Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, the ruling party in the state, has not opened up yet as to whom the party is going to support. UPA candidate Yashwant Sinha and NDA's both have spoken to JMM's executive president and chief minister Hemant Soren for support in their favor. It is expected that JMM may announce its stand today. On June 25th, a meeting of JMM leaders, including all MLAs and MPs, was held under the leadership of its Supreme Shibu Soren, wherein it was decided that the party's executive president Hemant Soren will meet the Union Home Minister in Delhi, and then the party will decide on extending the support for presidential candidates. The Varanasi District Court is all set to resume hearing on the plea by 5 Hindu women seeking permission for daily worship for the Shringar Gauri Sthal within the Kashi Vishwanath Gyan Vapi complex. Meanwhile, the other side has argued that the plea is not maintainable as the Places of Worship Act 1991 prohibits the conversion of a place of worship and orders the maintenance of the religious character of any places of worship as it existed on August 15, 1947. The Anjuman Intizamiya Masjid Committee will continue presenting its side today. Notably, a Varanasi court ordered a videograph survey of the Gyanvapi Masjid complex in April. The Mandir side, after the survey, claimed that a shivling was found at the Wazukhana of the mosque. The Supreme Court transferred the case from the civil court to the district court, citing the sensitivity and complexities of the case. The senior and experienced judicial officer must hear the case, the Supreme Court said. The hearing will now resume today, where the mosque side will put arguments against the maintainability of the plea. And in some other stories now, following a successful battle, Karnataka's Shini Shetty was crowned Femina Miss India World 2022 in the grand finale of the Mega Beauty pageant. At the ceremony hosted at the Geo World Convention Center in Mumbai, Rajasthan Rubal Shekhawat emerged as Femina Miss India 2022 first runner-up, while Shinada Chauhan from Uttar Pradesh was named Femina Miss India 2022 second runner-up. Well, actors Neha Dhupia, Dino Moria, and Malaika Arora, designers Rohit Gandhi and Rahul Khanna, choreographer Shyam Davar, and former cricketer Mithali Raj were part of the jury panel for the grand finale on Sunday. It may be mentioned here that the pageant, in its hybrid format, had launched a nationwide hunt to find prospective talents from all corners of the country through virtual auditions. And on to COVID update now. Well, India logged 16,135 new coronavirus infections, taking the total tally of COVID-19 active cases to cross 1,13,000 mark. As per the latest figures released by the Union Health Ministry data, 24 new fatalities have been reported in the last 24 hours. The active cases comprise 0.26% of the total infections, while the national COVID-19 recovery rate was recorded as 98.54%, the ministry said. What needs to be highlighted here is that an increase of 2,153 cases has been recorded in the active COVID-19 case load in a span of 24 hours. Hence, a question appears here: is India moving towards a fourth wave? On to international focus now. At least 3 people have been killed and several more wounded in a shooting at a shopping mall in Denmark's capital, Copenhagen. Copenhagen has confirmed that a 22-year-old Danish man was arrested over Sunday's shooting and charged with manslaughter. It has been further confirmed that there is no indication that anyone else was involved in the attack and that it was too early to speculate on a motive for the shooting. As per information, 22-year-old man who was armed with a large rifle was arrested peacefully shortly after police arrived at the Largefield shopping mall, one of the biggest shopping malls in Scandinavia and located on the outskirts of the Danish capital. Well, this attack has rocked Denmark at the end of an otherwise joyful week, just after it hosted the first 3 stages of the Tour de France cycle race. The event had sent hundreds of thousands of cheering Danes into the streets across the country. Such was the honor among the people that as the shots rang out, some people hid in shops while others fled in a panic stampede, according to witnesses. Meanwhile, Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen has expressed shock at the incident, calling it incomprehensible, heartbreaking, pointless. All right, that's all we have for now. Keep watching Northeast Live as I'll be right back with afternoon headlines. Stay with us.
News to keep you ahead.
Evening Prime, every day at 7 p.m. Northeast Live, most watched English news channel in Northeast. Number 1 English channel in region. Highest urban and rural viewers in Northeast. Most viewed news channel of Northeast on YouTube.
जाएंगे हम वहां जहां की हर खबर छुप जाती है और दिखाएंगे वो जो रहता है आपकी नजरों से उझल। पहुंचेंगे हम पूर्वोत्तर के हर कोने में।
Naga political issues.
नॉर्थ ईस्ट की हर खबर से आपको कराएंगे रूबरू।
एक पूरा पहाड़ नीचे आके रास्ते में जो भी आया उसको दबा के चला गया।
नमस्कार, समाचार नॉर्थ में आपका स्वागत है। मैं हूं कविता, स्टूडियो में मैं हूं दिनेश।
मैं हूं रविंद्र चौहान।
मैं रश्मि भैया शेर। मैं नश्मिता महन।
समाचार नॉर्थ ईस्ट हर शाम 6 बजे।
Sharp analysis, uncut views, diverse opinions, one debate.
Good afternoon. You're watching Northeast Live. I'm Priyadarshini Medhi, and now straight to the top focus this afternoon. 2 more bodies have been recovered from the Tupul landslide spot today, which now takes the death toll to 44. Commandant of 12th NDRF Battalion Pankaj Kavidayal informed Northeast Live that bodies of a territorial army jawan and a civilian have been recovered from the AJ River today. Well, search and rescue operations, meanwhile, are underway on a war footing to locate the remaining 18 who are feared buried under the debris. So, viewers, 2 more bodies have been recovered from the Tupul landslide spot today, which now takes the death toll to 44. Well, Commandant of 12th NDRF Battalion Pankaj Kavidayal informed Northeast Live that bodies of a territorial army jawan and a civilian have been recovered from the EJ River today. And as you can see on your screens, well, search and rescue operations are underway on a war footing to locate the remaining 18 who are feared buried under the debris. And earlier this morning, the mortal remains of 5 territorial army men were flown to their respective homes from the Imphal airport. These include Lieutenant Colonel Kapil Dev Pandey, Naik Chedo Lama, Rifleman Pritham Kumar Datta, Havildar Umesh Limbu, and Havildar Debkar Pradhan. The brave-hearts were paid full military honors and wreaths were laid on the mortal remains. And meanwhile, worth mentioning here that even as inclement weather has been a major hindrance for the rescue workers in the search operation, authorities have reassured time and again that the operations will continue till the last person is traced. Meanwhile, the person is using high tech equipment such as true wall imaging radar, which can detect bodies buried up to 20 meters below in the search operations. Meanwhile, the recovered body of the civilian has been identified as Devajit Fukon, a worker hailing from Assam. It may be mentioned here that among the 18 missing, 9 are from Assam alone. So the recovered body of the civilian has been identified as Devajit Fukon, a worker hailing from Assam. It may be mentioned here that among the 18 missing, 9 are from Assam alone. Meanwhile, the mortal remains of 2 more Assam workers, namely Bagendra Fukon and Monim Dekaraja, arrived in Assam's Morigao. Well, it was only on Sunday that 4 more deceased workers were cremated. As such, the last rites of Bagendra Fukon and Monim Dekaraja was held today in the same spot. Clearly, a pall of gloom has descended in Morigao.
দুটা মৃতদেহ আহি উপস্থিত হ'ল যোৱাকালি যিটো সমস্যা হৈছিল টাইমৰ কাৰণে আজি সেইটো হোৱা নাই দুটা ডেড বডি আহিছে বুগেন্দ্ৰ ফুকন আৰু মমিন ডেকা ৰজা এই দুজনৰ মৃতদেহ আহি উপস্থিত হৈছে আৰু আনুষ্ঠানিকভাৱে আমি আমাৰ তাতেই গাঁৱতেই শ্ৰদ্ধাঞ্জলি অনুষ্ঠান সমাপন কৰি এইমাত্ৰ আমি মৰিখালীলৈ লৈ আহিছোঁ আৰু ডেড বডি আজি নাহিব খুব কম কাইলৈ অহাৰ সম্ভাৱনা আছে
5 injured Assam workers who were admitted at the RIMS hospital in Imphal have landed in Guwahati's LGBI airport, and these include Maniram Fukon, Roman Fukon, Maheshwar Fukon, June Basamatari, and Prahlad Basamatari. All 5 hail from Morigao. Meanwhile, June Basamatari and Prahlad Basamatari will likely be admitted at the Guwahati Medical College and Hospital for further treatment. Notably, Assam Minister Pijus Hazarika, who has been camping in Manipur for the last 2 days, overseeing the rescue operations at Tupul, visited the injured persons at the hospital to take stock of their health conditions. So the 5 injured Assam workers who were admitted at the RIMS hospital in Imphal have landed in Guwahati's LGBI airport a short while ago. And these include Maniram Fukon, Roman Fukon, Maheshwar Fukon, June Basamatari, and Prahlad Basamatari. Meanwhile, June Basamatari and Prahlad Basamatari will likely be admitted at the GMCH for further treatment. And notably, Assam Minister Pijus Hazarika, who has been camping in Manipur for the last 2 days, overseeing the rescue operations at Tupul, visited the injured persons at the hospital to take stock of their health condition. So relentless search and rescue operations underway at this point in time, viewers. Well, 5 injured from Assam They have reached the LTPI airport a short while back, and they will be admitted at the GMCH now. So, two more bodies recovered today, and search and rescue operations underway at this point in time at Tupul in None district in Manipur. And meanwhile, the last rites of Nek Sherin Lepcha was performed today at his native village, Ruklu Kayam, in North Sikkim's Upper Zongo. Hundreds gathered to pay their final respects to Nek Lepcha, whose funeral was held with full military honors. Those present also include Zongo MLA Pinso Namgyal Lepcha and North DC Dr. A.D. Karki. Lepcha, who was 35, was attached with 107 Infantry Battalion of Territorial Army of the 11th Gorkha Regiment and was posted in Manipur. He is survived by his wife, a 17-month-old daughter, mother, and father. So these are exclusive visuals coming in from Sikkim. So the last rites of Nek Sherin Lepcha was performed today at his native village, Ruklukayam in North Sikkim's Upper Zongo. As you can see on your screens, hundreds gathered to pay their final respects to Nek Lepcha, whose funeral was held with full military honors. So on your screens are the exclusive visuals coming in from Sikkim. So indeed, a very tragic incident that has been reported in Manipur, and the last rites of NK Sherin Lepcha was performed with full military honors in Sikkim. And on your screens, these are exclusive visuals coming in from Sikkim, and hundreds of people, they have gathered to pay their last respects to Sherin. All right, to know more, we are being joined live with our correspondent from Gangtok, Prakash Adhikari. So, Prakash, a pall of gloom has descended in the entire area where the last rites of Nek Sherin Lepcha was already performed in his native village with full military honors. Prakash, tell us more.
Yes, today the last rite of Nayak Chiring Lepcha, who lost his life in Manipur landslide, was performed at Upper Jongo area, the remote part of the state, and with military honors. And that time, area MLA, as a government representative, Mr. Pinsu Namgal Lepcha, and district administrator DC, Dr. A.B. Karki, also present here. And his last right performance in the remote part of the state in performed in Upper Jongo. Priya.
And also, Prakash, we have seen hundreds and hundreds of people have gathered to pay their last respect to Lepcha.
Yes, the funeral held with the presence of the hundred peoples from the Jongo and other parts of the state also. And that time, military honors also given him, and from the state government side, area MLA Pinchu Namgal Lepcha and the DC Dr. A.B. Karsi are also present, and some IRB personnel and Sikkim police personnel also present here.
So, any other ritual left, Prakash?
Hello.
Yes, Prakash, you can hear me. Any other ritual left for the day? All right, we have lost.
No,
yes,
Priya,
yes.
sir.
Yes, please continue.
Hello.
Yes, Prakash, please continue.
Hello.
All right, we have lost a connection with a correspondent from Gangtok, Prakash Atikari, due to bad network. But a pall of gloom has already descended in the area, and you can see on your screens these are Northeast Live exclusive visuals coming in from Sikkim. Well, a full military honors given to the brave heart, and hundreds of people, they have gathered to pay their last respect. And meanwhile, he has been cremated with full military honors. And indeed, a very tragic incident reported. Well, the family members and the native of that village, they all gathered to pay their last respect to Shering Lepcha. So 100 gathered to pay their last respect to Naik Lepcha, whose funeral was held with full military honors. And those present also included Dongzu MLA Pinso Namgyal Lepcha and North DC Dr. A.B. Karki. Well, also let me tell our viewers here that Lepcha was 35 years old, and he was attached with 107 Infantry Battalion of Territorial Army of 11 Gorkha Regiment and was posted in Manipur. He is survived by his wife, 17-month-old daughter, mother and father. Meanwhile, we have reactions coming in from MLA Pinsto Namgyal Lepcha. Listen.
ये बहुत अभी दुख का घड़ी में अब सभी आया है ये अंतिम श्रद्धांजलि देने के लिए। और ये छिरिंग लेप्चा एकदम हंसमुख अच्छा लड़का था और सभी के साथ में एकदम मिलजुल करके ऐसे मतलब सोशली जब भी छुट्टी में आता है ये सब से मिलजुल करके ऐसे रहता था। वो अच्छा लड़का था। फिर भी अब सभी ये संसार का नियम है, जब जन्म लिया तो एक दिन मरना भी पड़ेगा। आज ये अंतिम मतलब श्रद्धांजलि के लिए आज इधर आया है, जितना आया है सभी को धन्यवाद मैं क्षेत्र विधायक की तरफ से मैं देना चाहता हूँ और सरकार की तरफ से सिक्किम सरकार की तरफ से भी सम्माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी महोदय भी मुझे फ़ोन किया। जितना भी गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से सहयोग मिलना है या देना है ये सब गवर्नमेंट साथ में है और आर्मी की तरफ से भी काफ़ी मतलब मदद मिला है। अभी तक जो जितना भी मतलब सम्मान दिया है ये सबसे गर्व की बात है और मैं इतना कहना चाहूँगा आने दिन में ऐसा फिर किसी को भी ये इंसिडेंट ना होने का मैं वही प्रार्थना करता हूँ।
All right, viewers, we are getting live reaction from Cabinet Minister P.J. Hazarika, who has just landed in Guwahati from Imphal. Listen in.
খেলিমেলি হয় মই ইমান ডিটেইলছত নাজানো যোনে যেনেকৈ কয় তেনেকৈ শুনি লৈছোঁ মোৰ হাতত থকা তথ্য মতে 12 জন এতিয়াও সন্ধানহীন হৈ আছে যিকেইগৰাকী ব্যক্তি জীৱিত অৱস্থাত ঘূৰি আহিছে তেখেতলোক হ'ল মণিৰাম ফুকন ৰমেন ফুকন মহেশ্বৰ ফুকন জুন বসুমতাৰী আৰু প্ৰহ্লাদ বসুমতাৰী তেখেতলোক সশৰীৰে আমাৰ লগত ঘূৰি আহিছে তেখেতলোকক আমি ইয়াৰ পৰা তেখেতলোকৰ গাঁৱলৈ পাঁচগৰাকী ঘৰলৈ যাব ঠিক আছে
And on to the big national story now. After 2 weeks of deep political crisis, Maharashtra's 4-day-old Eknath Shinde government, formed with the aid of the BJP, proved its majority in the state assembly today. Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde won the trust vote in the assembly by a thumping 164-99 margin. Meanwhile, 3 members abstained from the voting today. Moreover, 2 MLA of the Uddhav Thackeray faction, Santosh Bangar and Shyam Sundar Shinde, joined the Eknath Shinde camp just before the trust vote. So since yesterday, 2 Shiv Sena MLAs have switched sides. The test of strength came a day after BJP's Rahul Narvekar was elected Speaker, a significant move in view of the Shiv Sena's pending appeal to disqualify 16 rebel MLAs, including the new Chief Minister. Meanwhile, the newly appointed Speaker of the Maharashtra Assembly on Sunday night removed Shiv Sena MLA Ajay Chaudhary as the legislative party leader. And meanwhile, a letter issued by the office of Speaker Rahul Narvekar reinstates Shinde as the Shiv Sena's legislative party leader and also recognizes the appointment of Bharat Gogawale from the Shinde camp as the chief whip of the Sena, removing Sunil Prabhu, who belongs to the Thackeray faction. Well, as many as 16 people, including several students, died after a private bus rolled off a cliff in Kullu district of Himachal Pradesh. The roll down the hillside near Changla Moor on Monday morning at about 8:30 a.m. According to sources, the bus with more than 30 passengers, mostly daily commuters and students, was going towards Sanj. Well, the bus driver lost control of the vehicle near a hairpin bend and it rolled down the steep hillside. Well, the passengers were crushed to death as bus rolled over multiple times before hitting the road below. All right, coming back to the top focus. Well, the 5 injured Assam workers who were admitted at the RIMS in Imphal have landed in Guwahati LGPI airport, and we are getting live reactions. Take a look.
কি হৈছিল সেইদিনা 7টা বজাত ভাত খালো আমি কামৰ পৰা আহি তাৰপিছত ৰাতি থাকিলো 11টা মান বজালৈকে ফিল্ম চাই তাৰে টোপনি লাগি গ'ল 1টা মান বজালৈকে একে গ'ল আৰু ঘৰত ডাইৰেক্ট কৰে টোপনিতে গৈছো এদুকা ওপৰৰ পৰা মানে চিটিকি পৰিছো যে তলত ডাইৰেক্ট পাথৰ দেহে কঁকাললৈহে লাগিছে আগতে দেখিছিলা পাহাৰটো খহিব যেন লাগিছিল নেকি যেতিয়া তোমালোকে কাম কৰিছিলা তাত তেতিয়া তোমালোকে অনুমান কৰিছিলা নেকি যে পাহাৰটো খহিব পাৰে নাই এইবিলাক কোনো গুৰুত্ব দিয়া নাছিলো গোটেই পানীত নদীখনহে দেখা পাইছো আগে মাটিয়ে নাই মানে ডাইৰেক্ট যেহেতু মাটি চাটি খুন্দাখন আমি ডাইৰেক্ট পৰোতে যে ডাইৰেক্ট মানে চিটিকি গ'লো পানীত ডাইৰেক্ট আমাৰ 23 জন আছিল টোটেল এইজনৰ পৰা আমি 6জন বাজিছিলোঁ। তাৰপিছত আধা ৰাতি 3টা বজাতে আমাৰ গোপাল মামা বুলি কয় সি মৰি গ'ল। এতিয়া আত্মহত্যা হৈ আছে কেইজনমান, পিছত কম আৰু এতিয়া নহয়।
And on your screens are the live visuals coming in from the LGBI airport in Guwahati, where the 5 injured. All right.
ঘটনাটো মানে ৰাতি ভাত চাত খোৱাৰ পিছত পাহাৰ বাগৰি আহি গ'ল। আমি চবে শুই আছিলোঁ, গম পোৱা নহ'ল। পিছত আমি মানে বহুত তলত পৰি গ'লোঁ। লগতে শিল বালি বহুত টিংপাত মানে ঘৰ চৰ ভাঙি আহি গ'ল। পিছত আৰু বহুত মানুহ আঘাত কৰিছে, এনেই টোটেল আমি শ্ৰমিক 22জন আছিলোঁ আৰু এজন ছুপাৰভাইজাৰ আছিল 23জন তাৰ লগত, ৰাজু আলী বুলি কয়। এতিয়া আৰু উপায় নাই আৰু। তাৰপিছত আমি আৰু ৰাতিপুৱা হ'লে তাতে ৰখি থাকিলোঁ। পিছত ৰাতিপুৱা আমি উঠি গ'লোঁ আৰু পাহাৰলৈ। অসমৰ টোটেল 23জন শ্ৰমিক আছিল, মানে 22জন শ্ৰমিক, তাৰ ছুপাৰভাইজাৰ এজন আছিল আৰু।
So on your screens are the live visuals coming in from the LGBI airport in Guwahati, where the 5 injured, they were admitted in the RIMS hospital in Imphal, but just a few moments back, they have reached the LGBI airport, and you can see on your screens, we are getting live reactions. Listen in.
মৰিগাঁও ডিষ্ট্ৰিক্ট অলপ আৰাম পাইছোঁ বাৰু, আৰাম অলপ পাইছোঁ।
যেতিয়া ৰাতিপুৱা চকু মেল খাইছিল আপোনালোকে কি দেখিছিলে? কি
মানে ক'ব নোৱাৰি আৰু, ভয়ংকৰ মানে এইটো বহুত মানে অসুবিধা মানে সেইটো সেইদিনাখন গোটেই মানুহ মানে নিজৰ গাঁৱে মানে
যথেষ্ট অসুবিধা পাই আছে। আমি বিশেষ তেওঁ আমনি নকৰোঁ।
So the injured will be taken to the Guwahati Medical College and Hospital now, and along with them, Assam Cabinet Minister Pijus Hazarika was also there in Imphal, and today, along with Pijus Hazarika, all the 5 injured they have landed in the LGBI airport a short while back, and you can see on your screens these are live visuals coming in from the LGBI airport, and all the 5 injured will be shifted to the Guwahati Medical College and Hospital now, and on your screens are the live visuals, so you can see they will be en route Guwahati Medical College and Hospital any time now, and you can see one of the injured person there. These are live visuals coming in from the LGBI airport. So narrow escape here for the injured. All right, we are getting live reactions from one of the injured person. Let's listen in.
ইম্ফললৈ মাহিৰত আছিলোঁ, ইম্ফলত এই ননে ডিষ্ট্ৰিক্ট টুপুল এৰিয়াত।
ডক্টৰ টিম আপোনাৰ লগত আছে, ডক্টৰে যেনেকৈ এডভাইচ কৰে আমি তেনেকৈ কৰোঁ।
বৰ্তমান ঘৰলৈ নিয়া হ'ব।
বৰ্তমান তেওঁলোকক ঘৰলৈ নিয়া হ'ব। পৰিয়ালৰ মানুহ কোনো অহা নাই। আমি এডমিনিষ্ট্ৰেশ্যনৰ ফালৰ পৰা মায়ঙৰ চাৰ্কুল অফিচাৰ আছে আৰু মই দ্বিতীয় নিজে আছোঁ। আমাৰ ডিষ্ট্ৰিক্ট এডমিনিষ্ট্ৰেশ্যনৰ পৰা আমাক পঠিয়াইছে আৰু মাননীয় আমাৰ জলসিঞ্চন মন্ত্ৰীয়ে আমাক দায়িত্ব দিছে যে তেওঁলোকক ঘৰত থৈ আহিব লাগে, আৰু ৰাস্তাত যদি কিবা খোৱা খাদ্যৰ প্ৰয়োজন হয় আমি তেওঁলোকক ব্যৱস্থা কৰিম। পাঁচজন আহিছে, পাঁচজন লাহৰী ঘাটৰ বিভিন্ন গাঁৱৰ আছে। আমি তেওঁলোকক ঘৰত থৈ আহিম 5জনকে। চৰকাৰৰ পৰা আমাক নিৰ্দেশ দিছে, আমি আহিছোঁ, গাড়ী লৈ আহিছোঁ, ডক্টৰৰ টীম আছে, আমাৰ চাৰ্কুল অফিচাৰ আছে, আমাক ডিষ্ট্ৰিক্ট এডমিনিষ্ট্ৰেশ্যনৰ ফালৰ পৰা মাননীয় উপায়ুক্ত মহোদয়ে আমাক নিৰ্দেশ দিছে, আৰু সেইমতে আমি তেওঁলোকক নিয়াৰ ব্যৱস্থা কৰিছোঁ, আৰু আমি তেওঁলোকক ঘৰত সুন্দৰকৈ থৈ আহিম। আৰু যদি ৰাস্তাত যদি কিবা দৰকাৰ হয় আমাৰ লগত মেডিকেল টীম আছে, তেওঁলোকে চাব। আৰু খোৱা খাদ্যৰ প্ৰয়োজন হ'লে আমি সেইটো ব্যৱস্থা কৰি দিম। আমাক মাননীয় মন্ত্ৰী এটা ডক্টৰে কৈছে এতিয়া তেওঁলোক ঘৰলৈ যাব দিব পৰা হৈছে বুলি কৈছে, সেইকাৰণে আমি তেওঁলোকক লৈ যাম এতিয়া।
এতিয়া জিলা প্ৰশাসনে যথেষ্টখিনি পদক্ষেপ গ্ৰহণ কৰিছে। 12জন ব্যক্তি কিন্তু এতিয়া সন্ধানহীন হৈ আছে।
হয়।
তেওঁলোকৰ লগতো বা তাত নন ডিষ্ট্ৰিক্টৰ লগত আপোনাৰ কণ্টেক্টত আছে নেকি?
নাই, সেইটোতো মইতো জিলা পৰিবহণ বিষয়া দ্বিতীয়হে মই, গতিকে মোৰ দায়িত্বটো ট্ৰেন্সপৰ্টেশ্যন আৰু তেওঁলোকক মই ঘৰত সুকলমে থৈ অহা। গতিকে বাকীখিনি কথা মই ক'ব নোৱাৰিম, ইতিমধ্যে আপোনালোক মন্ত্ৰী মহোদয় ক'লে চব। গতিকে সেয়াই আৰু আমি এতিয়া এই 5জনক তেওঁলোকক সুন্দৰকৈ ঘৰত থৈ আহিম। আমি গাড়ী লৈ আহিছোঁ, ভাল টিপটপ কণ্ডিশ্যনৰ গাড়ী লৈ আহিছোঁ, আমি তেওঁলোকক ঘৰত নমাই থৈ আহিম।
All right, that's all we have for now. Keep watching Northeast Live for more news and updates. Thanks for watching.
News to keep you ahead. Evening Prime, every day at 7 p.m. Northeast Live, most watched English news channel in Northeast. #1 English channel in region. Highest urban and rural viewers in Northeast. Most viewed news channel of Northeast on YouTube.
जाएंगे हम वहां जहां की हर खबर छुप जाती है और दिखाएंगे वो जो रहता है आपकी नजरों से ओझल। पहुंचेंगे हम पूर्वोत्तर के हर कोने में।
Naga political issues.
नॉर्थ ईस्ट की हर खबर से आपको कराएंगे रूबरू।
एक पूरा पहाड़ नीचे आके रास्ते में जो भी आया उसको दबा के चला गया।
नमस्कार, समाचार नॉर्थ में आपका स्वागत है। मैं हूं कविता, स्टूडियो में मैं हूं दुर्मेश,
मैं हूं रविंद्र चौहान,
मैं रश्मि प्रिया शेर, मैं नश्विता महन।
समाचार नॉर्थ ईस्ट हर शाम 6